Could our perceived reality actually be a computer simulation? And where did this idea come from? Perhaps the most well-known source is the movie The Matrix. In The Matrix, it is revealed that reality is an illusion and that we, humans, are actually lying in fluid-filled capsules serving as a food source for machines. One of the most prominent advocates of the simulation hypothesis is Nick Bostrom, a philosophy professor at the University of Oxford. In a paper published in 2003, Bostrom mathematically analyzed the question of whether we live in a computer simulation. He argued that one of the following three possibilities must be true. A significant fraction of humanity will not reach a technological stage capable of simulating their ancestors. A significant fraction of humanity will lose interest in simulating their ancestors or find it morally unacceptable. The number of simulated ancestors, like us, is much larger than the number of real ancestors. Bostrom claimed that at least one of these possibilities must be true, and the third one is the most plausible. If humanity is interested in simulating their ancestors and has the technological capability to do so, there would be a vast number of simulations. This would mean that the number of simulated ancestors like us would greatly exceed the number of real ancestors. Therefore, the likelihood of us being the real ancestors is highly improbable. Bostrom's argument has fascinated many people, including notable figures. For example, Elon Musk, the founder of Tesla and SpaceX, stated in an interview in 2016 that the probability of us living in a simulation is very high. Musk cited the rapid advancement of video games as an example, noting how video games have evolved from simple Pong in the 1970s to complex and realistic online games played by millions of people simultaneously. Musk argued that based on such rapid progress, it wouldn't take long to create indistinguishable simulations, and it is quite possible that a future advanced civilization has created a computer simulation to observe how their ancestors lived. Some physicists, like Daniel Whiteson, a particle physicist working at CERN, also support the simulation hypothesis. Whiteson believes that the fundamental laws of the universe are actually codes of a computer program. He states that the universe adheres to certain rules that can be expressed through physics equations. According to Whiteson, if we were inside a computer program and trying to understand the rules of a simulated universe, we would essentially be trying to decipher the encrypted physics of that universe. In other words, we would become physicists. There are, of course, those who oppose the simulation hypothesis. Some argue that there is no scientific evidence for this idea, and that it is purely speculative. Others believe that it raises ethical and moral concerns, and could distort people's perception of reality. Some argue that it is overly pessimistic and hopeless, leading people to lose the meaning of life. So, how can we determine if we are living in a simulation? There is no definitive answer to this question, but there may be some clues. For example, we may observe certain errors or inconsistencies in the universe. These errors could indicate that the simulation is not perfect, and sometimes glitches occur. The observer effect in quantum physics, where simply observing something can change it, could be a simulation glitch. This phenomenon suggests that we may be living in a processed reality that only exists when observed. Another clue could be attempting to communicate with the advanced civilization that created the simulation. Perhaps the civilization has sent us some messages or signs. Maybe they want to play a game with us or test us. Maybe they want us to become aware and exit the simulation. In that case, we might need to take the metaphorical red pill as depicted in The Matrix. Lastly, if we are living in a simulation, we need to consider what it means to us. Should this idea frighten us or excite us? Does it liberate us or enslave us? Does it provide meaning to life or take it away? The answers to these questions may vary for each individual, but perhaps what is important is not the answers, but the questions themselves. If you subscribe, I can add more value to you, and if you want my mom to be proud of me, you can like my video.